Part 3. Everything Changed. Chapter 11. Move to Florida. Genesis 29. Jacob served his father-in-law for 7 years in payment to marry his love, Rachel. Instead of Rachel, her father tricked Jacob and gave him his older daughter, Leah. Jacob served his father-in-law for a second set of years so he could marry Rachel, the woman he loved. Hard to believe, but a second set of 16 more years had passed since the call to serve in Haiti in 1982. God had not tricked me. We had been serving God in Haiti since 1998, as his audible told. It was me who got it wrong. The call would be different than how I had wanted it and how I had expected. I had learned a hard lesson about God's will and his timing. A dear seasoned missionary friend brought it to light that God's plan for our 3 children could not have unfolded had they grown up in Haiti. God did indeed have a unique plan for each of them and their spouses, and today they're fulfilling those plans for their lives. I came to understand that God's ways are different, ours are flawed. I am in his will, carrying his will. I'm his, carrying out his will, not the other way around. How he chooses to accomplish his will is his choice. I'm his vessel. Remarkably, I was at peace. With our children all grown, Frank's 5 words back in 1989, "We can't take the kids," no longer applied. The 2 of us were now free to move to Haiti. Would we finally do it? We were already effectively managing Hope Alive from the States. Our capable all Haitian indigenous staff was doing an outstanding job in Haiti without us, speaking the language and better understanding their own culture. Who appreciates bosses stepping in, breathing down their necks, and micromanaging them? Why would we fix something that wasn't broken? We would be more effective governing from the States. Moving to Haiti didn't make sense. Instead, we moved to Florida. It was an unplanned, even spontaneous. Frank stepped off the plane from Haiti after 3 months of a trip while I was visiting with our oldest daughter and her family in Florida. For fun, her husband, a realtor, showed us a house he was selling. I always loved Florida, but Frank did not. After the house showing, I was stunned to hear him say, "Let's buy it." Retired without an income, trusting God every step. We didn't know how our Heavenly Father would walk us through our new incomeless adventure. Early in our marriage, with financial struggles, we learned strict discipline and thrift. Those principles were extended every day of our lives. Expenses in Florida would be more affordable than those of the big old transformed, beloved house we would leave. We were a few years too young to collect Social Security funding, so purging our home to put on the market helped pay our bills. Along with our daughter and her family, my parents lived in Florida, and they would be happy to loan us the money to buy our new home until we would be debt-free when we sold our historic one in New Jersey. It would be a blessing to live out the rest of their days near my aged parents and our daughter's family. It was an unexpected blessing that our son and his family would also find amazing jobs here and join us in Florida for a season. But our youngest had just gotten married and moved to New York City, and we would miss her dearly. And our son and his wife would move to another state, but not until we had a few very blessed years doing life with them, his wife and our precious grandchildren. Frank would retire from a successful 32-year career as a top national sales manager in the automotive chemical business. God had blessed Frank for his faithful hard work from back when he was always at work as a teenager through the days when we hand-washed dirty diapers and soaked them in a pail of bleach water. From practically nothing, Frank built many sales territories, hired 7 salesmen, and his personal salary multiplied 15 times. Our family was blessed for Frank's faithfulness and hard work. Reverend Frank Jacobs had been ordained and called into full-time ministry with Hope Alive, as well as becoming our pastor's part-time volunteer missions pastor. To leave our church family, so many dear friends where we had been fellowshipping for over 30 years, seemed like ripping off a part of ourselves. They were our root system, and also had been a foundational blessing to Hope Alive. They believed in the work we were doing for the desperately poor of Haiti, and they joined in that effort from the very beginning. Frank and I had been very uncomfortable, put on a pedestal by our church in New Jersey, while on mission trips to Hope Alive and during Hope Alive functions, fundraising functions. We had also felt weird about being overly revered for living in that big old house on Main Street. Now, with our new lives in Florida, no one knew us or anything about us. We no longer felt the prestige of owning that antique transformed mansion right in the center of our affluent town. Somebody else lived there now. We no longer felt popular in church as leaders. No one associated us with running a successful, growing ministry. Truthfully, being humbled was not as warm and fuzzy as we had thought it would be. But God would protect Hope Alive from what we never could have guessed would happen a few years later. We were already gone when our church closed in shame and our pastor went to jail after the disclosure of his egregious personal failure. Many from this church family, however, would continue to support Hope Alive in Haiti wherever they attended church. Raising funds and awareness for Haiti was not as successful in Florida as it had been up north. Floridians were inundated with Haitian migrants, and they generally seemed less compassionate, numb to needs that we presented. Also, Haitians living in Florida were already tapped out, supporting their families back home. When Frank retired, he kept busy, using his time wisely. He became more actively involved with the stateside ministry responsibilities of Hope Alive. God had anointed him as Frank implemented brilliant, fresh new ideas. An added blessing was Frank also seemed to enjoy my housekeeping chores, like living on a cruise ship with my personal chef. I was very grateful for Frank and very thankful Hope Alive was operating optimally in our absence. But I found it difficult to ignore a haunting voice whispering somewhere from deep inside me, reminding me of my new insignificance. Now that we moved to Florida, it was such a short flight, and I still had the job of hosting visiting missionaries who continued flocking to our guest house in Haiti. But that would soon change too. Chapter 12. Locked Out of Haiti. Abruptly one day, we could no longer take the risk of hosting visiting missionaries. Haiti was so close, yet became so far from our new home. Our bi-monthly trips had to be canceled due to increasingly gang violence, civil unrest, kidnappings, murders. Not just for visitors, but for the staff to travel through roadblocks to get us back and forth to the airport. In all our years of traveling to Haiti, there was always the threat of potential danger. The U.S. Travel Department's normal travel advisory to Haiti was a dangerous level 3, reconsider your travel. But in 2018, when the level was raised to 4, do not travel, life-threatening, that was the same level as traveling to North Korea. So it was not worth putting the lives of our visitors and people in our charge in peril. It became clear that if we had lived in Haiti full-time as I wanted, we would have had to leave and close Hope Alive at a time of Haiti's darkest, most desperate need. Because our staff had learned to operate the ministry so beautifully without an American presence, all the ministries of Hope Alive would continue virtually uninterrupted. Many other missions closed when their foreign missionaries had to leave. Their Haitian staff had not been trained for their absence. Our staff was very capable to continue, barely impeded by these troubled times. Also, had we sold everything and moved to Haiti, Frank and I would have been back in America, starting our lives all over again. Chaos started in Haiti immediately following a soccer game one July afternoon in 2018. The Haitian president, Juvenal Moise, who was assassinated in 2021, strategically waited to give his speech until the soccer game was over. Moise was a good guy. He exhibited poor judgment that day, but he was killed because he would not bend for corruption. Surely, Haiti's favorite team, Brazil, would win the soccer game to soften the blow of the news that Moise would deliver that afternoon, or so he had thought. He planned to speak to a gregarious audience about the significant rise in fuel costs and the negative impact that this increase would have on the general population. But Brazil lost the soccer game, and no one was in a good mood. Upon hearing the news about the fuel price increase, the population went berserk. Haitians, feeling hopeless and helpless, sometimes protest in this manner. They burned hotels, businesses, cars. If you were on the road, you and your car might get burned up too. The UN wasn't there to prevent chaos. When this event occurred, most Haitians believed the UN was a hindrance, partly because they had inadvertently introduced the deadly disease cholera after the earthquake in 2010. So Haiti demanded the UN to leave. This proved to be a big mistake. Once the UN was gone, it became clear they had been preventing this very thing from happening. Well, Frank was in Haiti on that day, hosting a youth group from Georgia, desperately trying to get these kids to the airport to leave safely. Prayer and our fearless staff made the impossible possible. Despite advice from seasoned missionaries to the contrary, our staff drove our Haitian team to the airport through roadblocks, avoiding burning tires in the road, barely missing gunfire. Praise God, everyone arrived home safely. That was an experience that will remain etched in their memories. Since then, conditions in Haiti have exponentially worsened. Gangs have taken over, especially near Hope Alive. The clinic has treated gunshot wounds as well as gang members' families. We share the love of Jesus to anyone. We thank God all ministries of Hope Alive have remained fully operational, and our staff has remained safe. Although the guest house is not buzzing with American visitors, instead, many of our staff is living there now because they lost their homes, commandeered by gangs. The situation in Haiti looks very bleak, but we stand in faith. When civil unrest subsides, we're planning extended trips and resuming mission trips to Haiti to Hope Alive. Chapter 13. They grew up. When I wasn't looking, while I was busy trying to save Haiti, our kids grew up, behind my back, right in front of me. I longed more than anything to return to a place and time where they were little, but that was gone forever. They no longer needed us how they once did. It's a very good and healthy thing when kids are independent of their parents. But on some deeper emotional level, I can't even express how this took me by surprise and how it didn't feel good that the job was done. I never expected how hollow and lonely that would feel. With sadness, I'm soothed with a deep, comforting sense of pride that they turned out into three very intelligent, loving, selfless, and successful adults with beautiful families of their own. As young teens do, our oldest would threaten to move away to college and never come back. But barely 17, after graduating high school, she did. I hoped she'd come home, but like her dad, she never quit anything. who recently learned that she hated basketball, for instance. Yet she stuck it out. She played all those endless hours of practices and games for 4 years of high school. She always worked hard, never got into trouble, graduated from college magna cum laude, went to grad school in Florida, and fulfilled her dreams to be a wonderful wife, mother, and licensed mental health therapist. Our son was a class clown, just like his daddy and his granddaddy. His curiosity challenged many of his school teachers and his parents. Before the age of 4, he had already pulled the emergency alarm at Denny's twice. Denny's, the restaurant. He'd randomly jump on and ride shopping carts of shoppers we didn't know at the grocery store. And like his dad, he never lost his hilarious sense of humor and charming wit. Today, he's a very successful senior project manager, loving husband of another licensed mental health therapist, and a devoted father. When our youngest daughter graduated from high school, bags were packed, the first bill was paid, thank God reimbursed, and we were ready to take that 7-hour journey to the same college her siblings attended. When she announced she changed her mind, we were proud of her courage to do what she felt that God was calling her to do. She spent a few months in Turkey with YWAM, Youth with a Mission, instead. She's a bold leader with boundless creativity, having led Hope Alive mission teams to Haiti, inspiring several to pioneer their own ministries. With humility and the voice of an angel as a voice coach, she transforms and brings out the best in her students, while her scientist husband is successfully utilizing his doctorate degree. My life passions, my life work, as I knew them, were completed. Job well done in Haiti and in motherhood. What would be next?